Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And again, like I mentioned before, this class is remote. It's mostly virtual. So a lot of what you're going to be turning in won't be via email. It'll be via D2L. But I've set up D2L in such a way that it's going to be a ease of use to you, and anything that you have questions about, you should be able to get answers there. If you don't, I'll show you where you can ask those questions so that you can get a quick answer, if not from me, from other students. All right. So let me share this. All right, can you all see my screen here? Hopefully you can. Am I still on?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
It's good.
Okay, good. All right, so this is our home screen. So when you click on home, or you click on PSYC-101 R03, that's our section, you'll notice the window here, news and announcements, okay? Anything that's important to the class, I'm going to put in here. So if there's a confusion about an assignment or something that's upcoming, or if I have extra credit, it's going to appear here. I think many of you get alerts whenever I make an announcement here. If it's really, really important or extra credit, I usually follow that up with an email. So those are the two ways that I'm going to communicate to the entire class, is either through this news and announcements, or via email, or both. Okay. So anyway, when you go through the welcome message, this should at least get, for many of you who haven't had a chance to really get started in the course, this will get you started. Yeah, you all got my email, or you clicked on here. So if you ever lose that that Zoom link, it's located right here in the news and announcements. As time goes on, this message will get further and further down the line. No worries, it didn't disappear. I leave this up all semester. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can click on show all news and all news items, and scroll all the way to the bottom, and it'll be there. So anyway, just a little welcome message. Here's the link for our 11 to 1. Oh, I have to. Oh, those are my office hours. I'm actually going to update that. If you have office hours that you want to meet me with, I'll show you where to click on that. But don't join that, because I won't be there for that. I have another way that you can get in touch with me. Communication. All assignments are going to be APA formats. Now, I know most of you, I can probably guess that most of you have had little to no APA format background with this. Not a problem. I'm going to guide you. So your first assignment, I'm going to give you lots of feedback. I'm going to probably mark the grade down a little bit just to get your attention, but if you go in and follow that feedback and follow the next week's assignment and include that feedback, then you'll be just fine. You'll get a better grade. If you don't follow that feedback, the grade might be a little less than the last time, just because I really focus on getting APA exposure. Many of you are going into nursing fields, or even education. Depending on what type of education, you might see APA again, or you might use Chicago or MLA. But nursing, criminal justice, any kind of science field, you're going to be dealing with APA. For those of you that it doesn't apply to, bear down. I know this is just one of those things that we have to get through and teach. So please do your best. If you get hung up on anything, I do have a link. I don't have it in here, but I will post it, for contacting Tutoring Services or Writing Center. Okay, either one would be willing to help you with your format issues. So if you get your assignment back and it just has all sorts of marks on it, and you're really overwhelmed and you don't know what to do, contact the Writing Center. They'll meet with you virtually. They'll let you email whatever it is you have, and they'll give you feedback on what you can do to fix it. And they're super, super helpful. Highly recommend it. They're a quick turnaround, and this is what they do. Okay. So attend. If you have any questions, of course, the preferred way is to ask them during class, especially if they're class related. So during Mondays and Wednesdays when we meet would be an ideal time to ask your questions, because I'm here. I can respond immediately to that. And I can even show you where some of these things are. Like if it's something within an assignment that you have a question about, or if it's a quiz question, I can share that with the entire class and even guide you through that by sharing my screen. If you need something a little bit more immediate, like say it is a question on an assignment and we don't meet until the next week, then what I would recommend doing is going into the discussion forum, the general discussion forum here in D2L, and see if your question's been asked. And I'll show you where that is right now. So, by the way, I set up this course in such a way that everything is well organized under content. Many of you may be under the practice of using discussions, Dropbox, and quizzes. Please don't. And the reason being is because they're not very well organized, and chances are you're going to have more questions about what's due by going through these as opposed to just going through content. Okay, so if you click on content, you can see here that I have all weeks organized. So everything from week 1 to week 16, which is our finals week, is contained within these subfolders. Okay, so at the top here, we'll start with overview. You have your overview here. Actually, I'm gonna just show you. Let me get back to this. I'm gonna get back to this. So if you have questions about the course, you go under general questions and you go under general discussion and questions, this will take you to the forum. Okay, this is what we're going to use. Looks like Jacob had already asked a question in here, and I'll go through, or if anybody else has any questions. Oh, I did answer this one already, but I'll respond to this within 24 hours, Monday through Friday. Even on the weekend, sometimes I get bored because I have no life. And I want to make sure that everybody's on track. So I'll get in here and I'll even answer questions sometimes on weekends. So anyway, this is the best way to get a hold of me if you have a class related question. If you have a question that's of a private matter or personal matter, please don't post it in here. You know, if you have a question saying that you turned in an assignment and you didn't get graded for it, that might be something you can talk to me more one-on-one. Like I said, beginning of the semester, email is not the best way to get a hold of me, but I will get around to your email eventually. But class-related questions, this is the best way. Okay, so I'll go back to content here in a second here. I just want to get through my welcome message. Packback setup. I know I got a couple of you with Packback questions. So Packback, instead of using discussion forums, I find them to be very monotonous and very boring, asking one question and having 30 students answer it in the exact same way or a very similar way. So I use a system called Packback, which is included in your tuition. So if you try to register and you get a message saying that you owe $25 to this service, please do not pay for it. Either send an email to me or put it in the general discussion forum, and I'll find out what is going on. So anyway, once you get into Packback, you'll see what I'm talking about. But and I'll show you how to click on that through our link. So once you get into Packback, here is your community lookup code. So it may ask for your login information, may ask for your email and all that information. Go ahead and set up an account if you don't have one emailed to you already. Set up an account, and again, don't pay for it. And then it'll ask you for a community lookup code. That's this number and letter sequence here. So post that and you'll be good to go. For the Packback, I do ask that you ask one question by Thursday and post 2 by Sunday. Now, I'll talk about Packback next week, and I'll show you a little bit more about what we're doing just in the interest of saving time. For this week only, all you have to do is register for Packback, and I have a question in there that asks, how does psychology pertain to your field or your personal interest? And all you have to do is answer that, okay? So don't worry about the answer one question by Thursday, 2 responses by Sunday for this week only. Next week, I'll talk about a little bit more about how that's gonna look, okay? Any questions on Packback before we move forward, or anything that I've covered so far? I'm going to get into Revel and textbook. Okay. All right. So I have a question here. Was the Revel book included in paying for the course this semester? No. The Revel book. So let me explain the Revel and textbook. So I use Revel for a couple of reasons, because the bookstore generally only sells new textbooks, and it's really, really expensive. Revel is the least expensive. If you have to purchase between a new textbook and a Revel access code, Revel is hands down cheaper. And it's available immediately, which is what I like. There's no waiting. Oftentimes I have students tell me that they're waiting on their textbook to arrive. You don't have to wait for Revel. The access code is immediate and you can get in and register. If you don't have Revel at the time, or if you're waiting for your book to arrive, you have a 14-day free trial if you click on this link. You can also click on this link to register your book. With the access code that you receive from wherever, either the bookstore or through Revel directly, wherever you receive that access code, you can enter that by clicking on this link, and it'll take you right to our Revel course and get you set up. Okay. If you don't want to buy Revel, you don't have to. We do require a book for this course. Whatever format you choose is up to you. I don't care. You can use e-text, you can use the hard copy, you can use a loose leaf. If you have it, if you're, no, I'm not going to say that, never mind. Legally, if you've obtained it legally, you're welcome to use whatever format. I don't use the assignments. I don't grade the assignments or quizzes within Revel itself. So there's the only reason I use Revel is just for the resource for the book. That's it. So if you feel like you're missing out on something, you're not. So whatever format you want would just be fine. Okay. If you purchase the access code and you have issues, please follow this link. Get into this link. Oh, I'm sorry, semester log onto, yeah, not that one. This link here, pearsonhighered.com, Revel Students Support Index HTML, or call that number. If you go through that, that will offer you a chat option in there. Let them know what's going on. Try and get a case number. And if you encounter any issues or they can't help you, let me know what that case number is, and I'll run it up on my end. But try that first. You know, I always have students that have a minor hiccup with Revel, some way or another. It's not everybody, but occasionally it does happen. Don't email me first. Contact them. Try and get it worked out through their end, and then let me know once they open up a case. Because what they're going to do is, if I contact them, they're going to ask for a case number, and I can't connect you with them without a case number. So that would be your first step, is getting a case number, and then I can work things on my end if they don't have a resolution for you. Okay. So any questions on the book, Revel, Packback, anything before I move on?
Yeah, so I have a question about the book.
Mm-hmm.
So is Revel different from like an actual hard copy of the book?
All Revel offers, so Revel is an online format of the book. Okay, so it's you can get in there and access the textbook, and within the textbook, it has different activities, it has writing assignments, it has quizzes. I don't use any of those. I just use it for the book function only. So if you want to get something outside of Revel, as long as it's the same edition of the book, you'll be just fine.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Anything else before we move on? All right. So going back into content, I think I shared with you overview. This will be where you can get the syllabus. So I emailed it to most of you. I think we had a couple late sign-ons for this course. I'm not going to have time to go through the syllabus line by line today, but just be aware of the attendance policy. Be aware, we can have up to 3 absences. We're remote, so they're really, even if you're sick and you can just be present and take notes, that would be ideal. I do have to take attendance, unfortunately, so just be mindful of that. If for whatever reason you cannot attend, let me know. You can have up to 3 unexcused absences, so just be aware of the attendance policy with this. Okay. Again, Packback, I'll go over next week's sometime. For this week, we do have assignment 1, which I'll show you. where that is, and we have a quiz, reading quiz that's due, as well as a syllabus quiz. Okay. Also, and I'll go into more details. So at 3 points through this course, we're going to have article reviews due. Okay. So week 3, week 8, and week 12. When we get to week 2, the end of week 2, or early week 3, I'll talk about what these article reviews are. So just be aware that they exist and they're on those weeks. Also, we have movie reviews due at various points, week 4, 6, 9, and 14. And you should have access to them through Digital Campus or some other means. I don't have any live viewings of them currently. I don't have a way that I can do that without copyright infringement. So unfortunately, there's not a whole lot I can do with that. But anyway, you can watch them on your own. The questions are within the appropriate weeks for you to answer that. Late assignments, unless you have like a medical excuse or something going on that I've approved it to be late, please get them in on the due dates. If they're late and I haven't heard from you and 3 weeks has gone by, there's no way to turn those in. Okay. But on a case-by-case basis, like somebody might be in the hospital with their kid for a week, you know, in those circumstances, I don't expect people to be doing all of their assignments. Okay. But we can work out something as far as late attendance. I do want to pay your attention to the course breakdown and the grades here. So as you can see, reading quizzes, Packback, article reviews, movie reviews, this tells you exactly what's accounted. We're going to wind up with about 1,020 points for this course. I will have extra credit. I like doing things like podcasts, having people attend podcasts, just to bump up these grades. And also, if you meet these criteria here for like grade of A, have 12 of the 13 quizzes completed, have 12 of the 13, I'm sorry, yeah, 12 of the 13 quizzes with 80% or better. So that means if you slipped up and you didn't get a quiz in for a week, you know, you can let that one fly and still get an A. Grading of B, C, so on and so forth. So kind of look through those and see what is applicable to you. I also want to pay your attention to the schedule of events. I get a lot of questions about what's due and when. This syllabus is airtight. So this will tell you exactly what's due and when. So for example, by tomorrow, the syllabus quiz will be due. Initial Packback will be due by Thursday. If you have login troubles, you know, I'm not really, if by Sunday you can answer my question in Packback, that would be great. But next week, like I said, I'll talk about how we're going to be doing the Packback setup and everything, the questions and answers and all that. But just for this week, get registered, answer that question. Assignment 1, take a look at it today so you're not surprised. I do have that due on Saturday. Packback reply by Saturday and quiz by Sunday. Okay. Generally, that's what we're going to have. We're going to have Packback Thursday, assignment, written assignment due Saturday, Packback replies by Saturday, and then quiz on Sunday. That's going to happen just about every week with the exception of midterm and finals. And then occasionally we'll sprinkle in an article review, okay, or a movie review. So those happen at those weeks that I described, okay. Any questions on the syllabus before we move on?
I have a question.
Sure.
Are exams cumulative?
Good question. So if you read the directions here on the quizzes, so I'm going to go into week 1, and I'll get to that. I'll show you. I'll answer that question here in just a minute. So within week 1, I have a little bit of an overview. You click on that, it tells you what we're talking about, and it also gives you what's due for that week. Okay. So assessments, tasks to be completed, all that good information. Okay. And then you go into resources and it gives you videos and it might give you links to certain publications that I found were important to our course. And at the top here, I have the PowerPoint slides. Now, these aren't voiceover PowerPoint slides. That's what I do in class is I may go over a section of this PowerPoint or something, but you have access to those PowerPoint slides for each chapter. Then in week 1 discussion, this will be your link to the Packback. So, and again, I'll cover this on Monday. but you go into Packback and, or if you click on this, it'll take you right to Packback where you need to go. And then, of course, whatever else is due aside from discussions will be in the assessments tab. So for example, assignment 1 gives you the due date, tells you what's due, consider the following questions, and you can click on this source to download that. Now the chapter quiz, again, due every Sunday. It's made up of 10 multiple choice questions, and it's selected from about a pool of 25 to 30 questions. So there's no time limit. You can take the quiz an unlimited number of times, and I only score your highest score for that. So if you get a question, or like say you get 3 out of 10 of the questions incorrect, you can go back and take that quiz again. You may or may not see those questions because it is pulled from a pool of 25 to 30 questions, but it will only tell you which ones you got wrong. I highly encourage you to go to your book or go to other sources and find out what that correct answer is. I don't give you the correct answer, but you'll know which one you got wrong, and you can find it on your own. And once you find that question and it reappears again, you'll be more prepared to answer that. So anyway, it may take you several times to go through there to get all the questions, but it is worth it because all of these items within the quizzes are eligible items within the midterm and the final exam, okay? Which I believe is week 9 for us. No, week 8 maybe. Where is our, maybe week 7? Okay, sooner than I thought. Yeah, so midterm exam. It'll be a culmination of all the items that are eligible within those weekly quizzes. Now, about a week before the midterm and final exams, I'm going to post the practice quizzes, which you'll have access to. They have all the items that are eligible. So say out of quiz 1, there were 27 eligible items, and you only got to see 10 at a time. The practice quizzes will give you all the items, and again, won't give you the answers, the correct answers, but it'll tell you which ones you got wrong so you can go back and look them up. But if you take them as many times as you can, that'll prepare you for your midterm exam. Your final exam is not cumulative. For example, chapters 1 through 6 wind up on your midterm exam, and then chapters 7 through 13 will wind up on your final exam. Okay. Any questions at all?
Yes. Are we only tested on what we were taught, like in class? Or will it be like things that's in the book as well that we should have read?
Your quiz, I may cover some of the topics that are going to wind up on the quizzes, but your quizzes are pulled directly from the book.
The exams too, the quizzes and the exams?
Well, the exams are they're the collection of all the quiz items. So yeah, so there you won't see anything on the midterm or the final exams that haven't been eligible to be covered within those quizzes.
That we already covered. Got it. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I think silence is golden. All right, well, thank you everybody for sticking around a little extra today. I know we had a lot of information to get through. If you have any questions that come up, like I said, just go ahead and post them in the general discussion questions and I'll answer them there. Or if you want, wait till Monday and then I'll show you Packback, and then we'll get right into some of our topics for the week. I know week 1, we were supposed to cover chapter 1. It's pretty much a no-brainer. It's just kind of introductory. I will cover some of the topics next week, but we'll dig right in next week and hit the ground running. Okay.
Oh, I have a question.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know.
Go ahead, Ian.
Okay. So before we meet again, we'll have to have turned in our assignment 1 and quiz 1, correct?
That's correct.
And Packback replies.
And the syllabus quiz too.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Where do we turn in the quiz or the assignment 1? Sorry.
So again, let me go back to sharing my screen here.
Yeah, just the assignment I was confused about.
Yep. So all of the assignments that you're going to be turning in and all the quizzes, you can go if you go into
In
content.
content, okay.
Yep. Now you can access them through discussions, Dropbox, and quizzes. However, it gets confusing in there, so I always steer students away from that. But yeah, if you click on assessments, for example, assignment 1, you click on that. It'll give you the directions, and then it'll give you an option. It looks a little different for me to submit a file, and that's where you would submit that.
Okay.
Okay. Toyin, I think you had a question too.
Yes, sir. You said we should check our mails to see the Packback registration stuff. Yeah, I tried to check my mail now. I didn't see any message I received to
Okay.
register for that.
Okay, not a problem. All you would have to do is, like, for this week, go into week 1, go into discussion, and then click on Packback. Okay. So that will take you to our Packback assignment, and it'll give you an option to register. And then again, if you go back to, if it asks you for a code, that's in my welcome message. And maybe I can highlight it so that you can, so Packback, community lookup code is where that's going to be. So if it asks you for a code, I believe it doesn't, but if it does, that's what that code will be. And that'll take you right to where we need to go. Okay. Has anybody registered for Packback already?
Yes,
Okay. And was it pretty straightforward?
I had the same problem. I didn't see an email, but I just did what you explained. I clicked on it in the discussion area.
Okay. And did it ask you for a community lookup code?
No, I think I was just already entered into it.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so try that. And if anybody has any issues, go ahead, post that in the discussion forum and we'll help you there. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
If I'm still having problems getting into like the Packback thing, because I remember I like emailed you about it, and I was trying to follow the directions, but maybe I was doing the wrong thing and it wasn't really working out. So if I'm still having issues, can I like Zoom with you and you like walk me through it, if that makes sense?
Yeah, and that reminds me. So also, oh, I don't have the link in here. If you, where is that link? I'm going to put that in here. So instead of having a Zoom link, I'm going to give you a Calendly link. So if you have any questions or you want to meet with me one-on-one, this will set up an appointment for you and we can meet via Zoom or Teams or whatever you're more comfortable with. Okay. But yeah, that will be in the welcome message. I'm going to replace that Zoom link with, actually, I'm going to keep the Zoom link because that's our class link, but I'm going to also add, if you need to contact me, you can get in touch with me via Calendly. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions? All right.
I'm not gonna, real quick, I'm the same way with backpack. I mean, I said backpack, Packback. I would need you to run me through it, but I'm not gonna lie. Today I've been moving around a lot, and I haven't been actually able to like really like focus on how to do the Packback.
Okay. Yep. So again, I'm going to post this video, and if you want to review it and look to see where I went to click on to get into Packback, and then see how that works for you. Again, for this week only, you're just going to be answering my question in Packback. How does psychology affect your major, or how does it fit into your major or your personal lives? Just answer that question for this week. You'll get full credit if you answer it. And then next week, I'll show you what we're going to be looking for as far as standards for answering the Packback or entering the Packback items. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Anything from anybody else? All right. Again, thank you everybody for being here today. This is going to be a fun 16, 14, 15 weeks. I can't remember how many we're doing, all the way up till May. But I look forward to working with each and every one of you and getting some of these activities. If you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, I'll see you all here on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be safe.
Have a good one.
Bye, Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Good night,